Let's remove the guesswork from TikTok so you can get your first 1,000 followers, start building your brand, and making money from your content. We're gonna cover the algorithm, getting more views, how to turn your content into daily sales, and how you can turn your TikTok into a powerful engine to grow your business. Or even if you are someone that just envisions getting passive income from the digital products and the content that you create, I have great news for you. You do not need a large audience to start getting views and making money on TikTok. My client Chris was actually stuck in 200 view jail. He only had a few hundred followers, but the first video idea I gave him got millions of views. And my client Jared had no followers, but he was still able to add $75,000 in new business his very first month posting on TikTok. And you can achieve these things too. So today I want to focus on giving you a clear roadmap to getting your first 1,000 followers on TikTok. And we're going to start with one of the most common questions that people ask me in the comments, which is, how often should I post? There is a lot of conflicting advice about posting frequency, but by far the thing that I hear the most is that you need to post 3 to 5 times per day if you want to grow. And a lot of people hear that and they're like, that is a lot. I don't have time to do that. And I get it. And the good news is that you don't have to. I grew from 0 to 10,000 followers in under 6 weeks, only posting 1 video per day. And a lot of my clients that have grown even faster than I did are only posting once a day. The idea behind posting multiple times per day makes sense logically. Like if you are posting more videos, then you're going to get more data back. You're going to be able to fail forward faster and learn what's working so you can improve your videos and get more views. But here's the thing. The algorithm has shifted to a focus on quality. And even though you do need to get the reps in, you do need to practice in order to figure out what quality is and produce quality videos that get views, your quality is going to dip if you're trying to post 3 to 5 times per day. You would be much better off doing some content research or planning and scripting your videos and just posting 1 video a day. And that's what I would recommend you do. And a big reason I recommend that is because consistency matters most on TikTok. In fact, their documentation about the algorithm says that they reward you with more views the longer you consistently post. And so what you want to avoid more than anything are these big gaps where you're not posting content. Focus on being consistent first, then increase the frequency if you're able to, and then finally worry about posting time. Start just posting 3 times per week on Monday, Wednesday, Friday if that's all that you can do. TikTok recommends posting once per day. That's the ideal scenario, but if you can't do that, at least be consistent. It's better for you to post on the same days every week than to post multiple times a day for like 2 weeks and then you disappear for another 2 weeks and then you post for a day or two and then you disappear again, you post for a day or two. That lack of consistency is going to hurt you more in the long run than posting less times. And once you are posting daily and you want to increase the frequency, only post 2 to 3 per day max. If you start doing more than that, you start to look like a spammer and it'll actually end up hurting your views. It might even get you in a situation where your videos are ineligible for the For You page, and that means no views. Now, as far as the best time to post, it really doesn't matter all that much. You just want to make sure you're posting in like regular hours where people are awake. I know you can go into your analytics and it says the time that your followers are on and consuming content, but the reality is that 99% of your viewers are going to come from the FYP. They are not coming from your followers. And so post whenever you want. When is the best time for you? When is it easiest for you to post? Find a time that you can build into your routine so that way you can create a habit and build that consistency that you need to get the results. The next thing you need to focus on are your niche and your avatar. And these are actually 2 different things, and I'll explain what they mean in a minute. It's really important that we narrow this down and we understand it before we start posting. And I know you are probably so tired of hearing people talking about niching down, but there is a reason that so many people talk about it. I know that this was a huge turning point for me with my content and my business when I started talking to one person about one topic and just cut out everything else. And this is not just on TikTok. This is pretty much anything with an algorithm. Like if you go back on this YouTube channel and scroll all the way to the bottom and look at all my old videos, then you'll notice that as soon as I got focused and I started talking about that one topic, it took off. So let's talk about the difference between your niche and your avatar. Your niche is just your broad topic that your account is about, while your avatar is the ideal client or viewer that you want to attract with your content. And even if you aren't a business owner, you should still go through this exercise I'm about to explain of identifying your ideal viewer, because if you do, you can create better content for them and you're going to get more views and grow a lot faster. And if you are a business owner, it's important that you know this ideal client avatar, this ICA. You want to be able to create every single piece of content for this person. And it's so helpful helpful when you know your avatar, you know who that ICA is, because you understand their goals and the obstacles that are in the way and the problems they're dealing with, and you're able to create better, more tailored content for them. And not only does that make it easier to come up with content ideas, but it means that when they see that video, it is so helpful to them that they are going to watch more of it and they're going to binge your content. And that's going to end up getting you the play duration, the watch time that you need to push your content further, to get the bigger views and attract more of your ICAs. And I think it's important to note that just because you're talking to one ideal person doesn't mean that you aren't going to attract other types of people. Like, I've hired a coach before that specifically works with women, and her avatar was speaking to women, but the message and the results she was helping people get were something that I needed. So I was still attracted to that and still bought products from her. And even for me, where my avatar is a coach that wants to grow their audience on TikTok so they can get more leads and sell more of their digital products and programs, like, that is not the only type of person that watches my videos. And you might be watching this video right now and you're not one of those people. Maybe you're one of the musicians or the book talkers or the dozens of other niches or like spaces that people are in that are watching my videos because it helps them get views. Your content is going to help a lot of people outside of this avatar, this one person that you have in mind, and that's okay, and that's a good thing. So your avatar is really just the main person that you're trying to magnify in your content, so that way you can focus your message, attract the right people, and stand out in your industry. Now, it's important that you identify both your niche and your avatar. And when we talk about your niche, we're just talking about like getting clear about the topic that your account is about. And at a very basic level, that just means that you shouldn't be talking about like health and fitness and fashion and sports, like all in the same account. You should only be talking about one thing. But specifically, you want to get more specific. Like, you shouldn't just be creating a general health and wellness account, for example. You shouldn't be talking about all of the things in that space. You need to get clear on the specific result or value that you're delivering in your videos. So if you're in the health and wellness niche, like, your account might be specifically about weight loss. And then your avatar is that specific person that you want to work with that needs help with weight loss. So it might be that stay-at-home mom that's interested in getting in shape and losing weight now that all of her kids are in school. And so you're sharing advice about weight loss through the lens of this mom. And you'll probably help a lot of other people, but those women, those moms that you want to work with, they are really going to connect with you because it's so specific to them. And so I want to give you a little homework. I want you to, when you're done with this video, to pull out a piece of paper, and I want you to get clear about what your niche is. What is the topic? What is the result or value that you're going to deliver? And then I want you to get clear on your avatar. Who is that person? Who is it that you are going to be talking to in all of your videos? Now, there's one more thing that I want to cover before we move on, and that's that you might be feeling like, man, I really struggle to niche down. I'm just interested in too many things. And I actually got this comment on a video this morning that is perfect, and you can read it here, but she basically just says, you know, I'm a mom, I'm a coach, I'm an artist, I have a farm. There are so many things that I'm interested in, and the idea of honing in on one of them just seems so boring. And I get it. I'm interested in so much stuff, and there are so many ways that I can help those of you that are watching my videos based on the 11 years of experience that I have as an online business owner. But I'll tell you the same thing that I told her. Focusing on one thing gave me the time, the location, and the financial freedom to enjoy all of the other things that I was passionate about at a deeper level. By focusing on my one business instead of a whole bunch of stuff, I was able to grow it into a 7-figure company. I was able to be a stay-at-home dad for all 3 of my kids for the last 9 to 10 years, and I was able to retire my wife at the age of 30. I'm sitting here in my dream house that I custom built on a piece of land in the Texas Hill Country with an amazing view out this window here, and I was able to do all of that because I got focused. And even though it is boring sometimes, that focus, now I get to spend more time with my family, more time coaching baseball with my kids, more time where we just go on random trips or take time off. You know, my wife and I went to a winery yesterday instead of working because we wanted to. So I understand the feeling, but I promise it's worth it. So at this point, you've done your homework. You know your niche, you know your avatar, and now you want to know, how do I create the content that's going to attract my dream audience? The first thing you want to do is you want to leverage keywords to help the algorithm figure out who your ideal client avatar is, so that way it can show your content to the right people. When you start a brand new account on TikTok, the algorithm is basically going to guess who to show your videos to, and it's going to use a little bit of data inside of your account, and it's going to show it to a group and see if they like it or not. And it's going to keep doing this until it identifies that group of people, that type of person that's watching your videos for a really long time, and then it's going to show your videos to more people like that. And so you can leverage keywords and data to help signal to the algorithm who it is that you want to work with. And you do that by thinking about that ideal client avatar and the topics that you're talking about and the things that they're interested in, and you mention those in your videos, in the words that you say, on the text that's on the screen, on the text that is in the description of your videos, and in your hashtags. Like, all of those keywords are signals to help the algorithm get you better results. So you want to leverage that, and then you just want to be consistent. If you are consistent with your content, if you are talking about the same topic in every single video, that way you're not confusing the algorithm will actually do all the hard work for you. It will search for those people and eventually find them, and then your views will explode. So that's the first step. The next thing that you want to do to attract your dream audience is you want to recycle your best content. And when I do account audits for y'all and I look at the videos you're making, it always blows my mind when somebody has like low views on most of their videos, and then they have a video that gets 100,000 views and they never talk about that video topic ever again, or they never use that video format ever again. Don't do that. Recycle your best stuff. If something worked for you before, it will work for you again. If you have a format or a style that worked really well, keep using that style. If you have a topic that got a lot of views, then make a new video about the same topic. And when I say recycle, you can even reuse that video. You can create the exact same video again, re-record it. Don't, download it and upload it, because that doesn't work anymore, but you can remake that exact same video. And since it worked so well the first time, the algorithm's gonna go, oh, we know this one's a good one, let's go show it to a bunch of new people, and you're gonna attract a lot of eyeballs. And that's a great way for you to grow your audience quickly. You also wanna make sure that you're establishing your credibility inside of your videos. Like, if you want to attract a dream audience full of your ideal clients, then you need to show them and tell them that you can help them. You need to provide proof. And you can see how I provided examples of this at the very beginning of the video. I talked about Chris, who was really struggling with his content, and then I gave him one video idea and it got like 18 million views. He got over 10,000 followers. Like, that is helping to establish credibility. You have to provide examples like that to show people that, like, hey, I've done this, I can do this, I can help you with it. And the way you establish credibility will vary from niche to niche. In the weight loss niche, it might be, talking about client results. If you're in, the social media space, it might be showing like how your clients increased their engagement, or got more followers, or got more views, or made more money. Whatever it is that you do, make sure that you're showing off. Don't be shy about sharing the great things that you've accomplished for yourself and the people that you help. Now let's talk about how to get seen by more people. One of the things that people find really frustrating about TikTok is that they're creating really good, valuable content for their viewers that's going to be very helpful for them, and then they get stuck in 200 view jail. And one of the biggest reasons that that happens isn't because the content isn't good. It's because nobody saw the content in the first place, because they didn't do a good job with the packaging. You have to learn how to package your videos in a certain way, so that way you can get people to actually stop scrolling and watch the video in the first place. And to give you an idea of what I mean, like, the packaging on YouTube is your title and thumbnail, because your video is going to show up in their feed or on their homepage or whatever, and they have to then click on it in order to watch the video. So when I create a YouTube video, I put a lot of time into the title and the thumbnail and trying to get you to click so you actually see what I believe to be really great content. But on TikTok, you don't have a title and thumbnail. The way that you package the video is that you grab their attention as they're scrolling on the feed, so that way they stop and actually watch. So the most important thing that you can do is focus on your hooks. Focus on the first 5 seconds of the video. Make sure that you're saying something that grabs their attention, but more importantly, make sure that you stop them in their tracks using visuals. That can be something you're doing in the video, something you're showing on the screen, but more often than not, it has to do with the text that you're putting up on the screen. Our brain can process the text that we see so fast that if you're putting text on the screen and you have like a good title that gets people interested and makes them want to to watch, their brain is going to be able to identify in a split second that this is something I need to watch. I need to stop scrolling right now. And until you get better at stopping the scroll, no one's going to see your videos and you're not going to get enough watch time to get bigger views. The other thing you need to do to get seen by more people and to get those big views is that you have to create videos that have big view potential. It's really easy to fall into the trap of creating content that is either so specific or so advanced that it's not applicable to a large amount of people. It doesn't have the big view potential. And because of that, because it doesn't get the views, you aren't able to reach the people you want to see the video in the first place. Let me give you an example. I was on a call with my buddy Chris Orzechowski the other day, who is a really great copywriter, and he's known for sending daily emails. Like, he wakes up first thing in the morning, sends an email, and he makes tens of thousands of dollars every single month selling his products and services with one email per day. And so he's creating content, he's trying to grow his audience, get more email subscribers, and teach people about his method and how this one per day email method allows people to have more money, like more financial freedom, more time freedom in their business. Because you wake up, you send that email, you did your income producing activity for the day, and you can go out on about doing your thing. So what most people would do is they're going to create a video like how to send one email per day and make more money in your business. Now that video is very specific to your avatar, and when that person watches that video, they are very likely going to click on the link in your bio and check out the offers that you have and maybe buy from you. And so we call that a conversion video. It's really important for growing your business. But that type of video isn't going to get the big views because it doesn't have as big a viewer potential. And unfortunately, that means that not all of your ideal client avatars are actually going to see that video. So there's a second type of video that we need to be creating, and it's called a growth video. So a growth video for Chris might be something like how I make 6 figures a year working only 2 hours per day. Now, this is something that's going to appeal to a lot of people. It has big view potential. And then in that video, Chris is going to talk about how you can start an online business working only 2 hours per day. And there's only 3 things that you have to do. You need to send one email that's going to sell your product or your services, and you're going to spend the rest of your time that day just building your email list, growing your audience, attracting more people, and serving the people that have hired you. Now, the reason this is a growth video, if you can't see it already, is because he went as broad as he possibly could inside of his niche, which is online business. And by going broad, he gets that massive view potential that he needs to actually go viral. And he understands that if this video gets massive views, it's going to be something that's still interesting to his ideal client avatar, even if it's interesting to a lot of other people. So he's actually going to reach more of the viewers that he wants watching his videos. And so if you create those growth videos that are going to be interesting to a lot of people, but also interesting to your ideal client avatar, you're actually going to get way more views, and you're going to end up with more of your ideal viewers on your profile. And then they're going to look at your other videos. They're going to watch those more niche conversion videos and be like, oh my gosh, this person is exactly who I want to follow. They can help me with exactly what I need. And so let me give you like 2 concrete examples of this inside of my own content. I have this video called How to Make the TikTok Algorithm Love You. It's got over 300,000 views at this point, and it's one of my growth videos. There are a lot of people that aren't my ideal client avatar that are interested in understanding the TikTok algorithm. That way they can get more views. And then I have this video on how to get clients without a huge audience on TikTok. This is an example of one of my conversion videos, and only has like 1,500 views on it. But I have made tens of thousands of dollars from that video alone. And so what happens is the coaches, the people I want to work with, watch that algorithm video, and then they see this how to get clients video, and they go, whoa, now I understand how the algorithm works, but I need to know how to turn my views into sales. And so they watch that video, and then they want to find out more about how they can work with me. And I'm going to talk more about how to turn your content into daily sales in a second, but first, let's finish up how to get seen by more people. There's 3 other big things that you need to do. The first one is that you need to do your content research. You need to look at what other creators in your niche are doing. What are the topics that are going viral? What are the video formats that are going viral? What are those ideas? And start using proven ideas for your videos instead of just making stuff up. That way you can get more traction and get more views. I would also recommend that you spend more time on the descriptions in your videos. Make them longer, because if somebody watches your video and then they go and start reading the description, the entire time that they're reading, the video is still playing, which means you are racking up way more watch time. And if you're getting longer watch time, that means the algorithm is going to reward you with more views. And then finally, if you're not getting a lot of views, you should use more short content, those 5 to 8 second videos with the trending audios. I know a lot of people are going to say, oh, that doesn't work anymore. That's so 2022. It's all about the 1 minute video now. But that's not accurate. it's actually working really well right now, and I'll share an example with you here in a little bit. But first, let's talk about turning your content into daily sales. There are a couple of keys to doing this, but the first one is that you need to demonstrate that you can actually help your viewer. And in order to do that, like, you have to have the end game in mind. You have to get really clear on what is it that your viewers are getting out of your videos. And then once you figure that out, you want to make sure that your videos are these resources that your ideal client is going to keep coming back to and watching over and over. Maybe you can relate to this, but if you were to look at my TikTok account or my YouTube account, you would see that I have these massive watch later playlists because my favorite creators have these great videos, and I start watching them and I go, oh, I need to save this until I can sit down and watch it the whole way through. And that's the dynamic you want to create with your content. You also want to use your content to show your viewer that you're already living the life that they want to live. And this video is a perfect example of that. It's that one that I told you I'd come back to the short videos and like how effective they can be. This video got over 50,000 views and it brought in a ton of new followers and leads. And this video works so well because I'm demonstrating that like I've already achieved the life that my ideal viewer wants. It's very clear that like I'm at the beach and I'm saying, hey, I worked 1 hour and then I just chilled and I still made almost $3 grand. Like, that's something that my ideal viewer wants to achieve. And by showing that like, hey, I've already done this, I'm also showing them like, I can help you do this too. I can show you the way. And one of the key things that made this video work is that the video itself actually supports what I'm saying. You see me at this like really nice beach house with like a private pool in the background, and those viewers are like, wow, I want that. It's also why I tend to show the view from my home in my videos. I built my dream house in the hill country, and my ideal clients, they want to have the freedom to work from everywhere and the financial freedom to afford to build their own dream house. And so when they see that, they're inspired because that's what they want. They're putting themselves in my shoes. And I know that it's a beautiful view. It's going to get people's attention. It's one of those ways that I can package videos to get people to stop scrolling. And look, you don't have to have your dream house or go on fancy trips in order for this to be effective. There are a lot of creators that have done and have a lot cooler stuff than I do. What's important is that you've experienced things that your viewers want. They are in a place that you were at one point in time, and now you've gotten to where they want to be. And you want to show that in your content because it creates emotion, and emotion is what gets people to take action, and that's how you get sales. And the easiest way to create this emotion is to tell stories. Tell the story of how you were in their shoes. Tell the story of the things that you struggled with and how you overcame those things to get to where you are today, which is where they want to be. Stories like that will inspire people. When you give advice, when you provide a blueprint, it gives people confidence to take action. And at the end of the day, creating these emotions, getting them to take action, that's what we want to do to create the sales. Now, the last part of this is that there are certain systems and tools that you need in order to turn your views into sales. As you may know, when you reach 1,000 followers on TikTok, you get the famous link in bio, which is so important to making money on TikTok. But you need to start prepping for that link now because you could get 1,000 followers literally overnight. But you want to be ready. If you go viral and you don't have the systems in place, then you're not going to be able to do like Jared did and make $75,000 in the first month. He had a system to turn those views into sales calls to get more people into his programs. That way he could help them get the result he delivers. And I want to make sure that you have a system too. First thing that I recommend you do is get a Stan Store. This is a platform that is fantastic. It was built for creators on TikTok, and it's an easy way to have one link that leads to a store that allows you to do a whole bunch of things like grow your email list and sell your stuff. This is what I use. It's what all of my clients use, and I highly recommend it. And the first thing you want to do with your Stan Store is you want to offer a freebie. You want to create some sort of resource, whether it's an ebook or a video, whatever it may be, that's going to help your viewer take action and get a result. What is the first step that your viewer needs to take? What is the first problem that they need to solve to get the result that they want and that they followed your account for? That should be your freebie. Next, you want to connect whatever it is that you sell, your product, your program, your service. One of the great things about Stan is that you can actually sell your digital products right there in your store. You don't need any other software, and it's like drag and drop. It's so easy to use. And if you sell something more high ticket like coaching, then you can very easily add an application or a link for people to connect with you, hop on a call, and learn more about the services that you provide. The big thing that you want to be careful with is that you don't want to offer too many things inside of your store. I've seen this over and over. If you have too many options in your store, it's actually going to make it harder for people to make a decision. And that's bad because it means you're going to get less sales. It's kind of like growing your TikTok account. If you're listening to too much different advice, you're either going to get analysis paralysis or you're not going to see the results. You have to cut out all of the noise and focus on the fundamentals, just like I taught you today. So I want you to watch this video next so you know exactly what bad advice to ignore next time you're scrolling on TikTok.